Feel dirty. Hello.
Hello.
Braden Herrington here with Davie Portman. We are in the BDE. This is Up Next. We review NXT every week for POSTWrestling, postwrestling.com. You can follow us, subscribe to us, comment, review us on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, and YouTube. Because right now we're actually recording this live on YouTube.
Live.
We're live.
Steal Mr. Ting's catchphrase.
We are live.
We are live.
I don't know. I'm not a Patreon. I don't support them.
What?
We've never done this before live in our BDE.
Yeah.
The Braden David estate.
Yes.
Don't know what else you would think that means. If you're watching this video, you get to see David's lovely Kairi Sane cutout.
Isn't she beautiful?
She is quite beautiful. Scrum sent that to us in Christmas time, and if anyone was ever wondering, that's what she looks like. I guess I usually ask you how your day is, but we shouldn't really talk about our days. We should just
how was your day?
My day was great. I went for a nice, lovely walk.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was a little hungover today. I had the first Friday off in a long time.
Nice.
So I went out, but
I was a little hungover as well.
Oh.
John took me out.
Yes, I heard about this. John Pollock took you out.
We had a little mandate.
You and John went out.
Yeah, we went to the Cadillac Lounge and we watched Mouth's band.
Yes, Dan Lovransky and a band, and you watched him play the drums.
Yeah,
surf band.
It was great.
Okay, it was
like a battle of the bands for like surf bands. Is that what you call them?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I love surf music.
It was great fun. I could picture you doing you have this move where you do that. For those who are listening to the audio version, it's the twist.
I don't know.
I guess you do that a lot.
Okay.
You'd have definitely been doing that if you were there.
Okay.
But yeah, it was cool. I had a lot of fun, drank far too much, and suffered today at work. But NXT TakeOver 25 woke me up.
Yes, actually, I was I had a nap before the show,
right.
So I was super energized. I had my Starbucks. I was ready to go. I know you had your iced coffee, so you got perked up.
Yep.
And you thought you were going to fall asleep, but if you watched this takeover tonight, you know you weren't falling asleep. There was nothing to fall asleep to. This card was crazy. Everyone always says after the latest takeover, best takeover ever. Best takeover ever. I know people are going to start to say this about takeover.
Well, what would you say? Did you come out of it with that?
I came out of it loving every single thing out of it.
Okay.
So I'm like,
okay,
maybe they just don't miss. For those of you that watched AEW, maybe this is Triple H's FU to Cody Rhodes for smashing the throne. He'd be like, hey, you want to put on a good wrestling show?
Yeah, we were saying it seemed the wrong person to.
Yeah, he shouldn't have attacked Triple H. The joke on Triple H just doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
he should have done something regarding Vince.
I think it's that throne is such a symbol. It kind of represents Vince and Triple H,
and it's more of a taking a shot. It's
of course, yeah.
So this show delivered, in my opinion. The card was crazy. If you follow NXT every week, you see some of the characters that maybe made their takeover debuts, even tonight. It's interesting.
I thought it was quite an interesting card. It was quite fitting for the 25th anniversary, yes. I guess. It was shoutbacks to the past with your likes of Tyler Breeze.
Yeah.
Also looking forward to the future. There were a lot of people who was their first takeover, like Steve Cutler.
Yep.
You had
Jackson Riker, I guess.
Jackson Riker, although he wasn't in a match, he was featured.
Sure.
That was his first takeover.
Yeah.
Io Shirai hasn't been in a match at takeover, and
she was she not in the Fatal 4-Way?
Oh my bad. Yeah,
of
course. And Dawkins, who's an OG, he's been in NXT.
Wow, he's been in NXT for so long.
This was his first takeover.
Crazy that if you watch back, he had so many different gimmicks. He had a backpack. He was a 90s kid.
Yeah.
He was a skateboarder.
And
it was weird.
Finally clicked.
And he's finally in something.
5 years more than that.
That's crazy. He's finally made it to an NXT. Yeah. I thought this card was crazy. Should we just start getting into the card?
Yeah, I put out a little poll on Twitter before the show just to see what you guys think before going into TakeOver. What match were you most excited for? And I have the results right here. We had
a poll for
which match are you looking forward to the most? What do you think? What were you looking forward to the most?
I'd say the main event or Riddle and Roddy.
Okay, interestingly enough, we had 59 votes, and Tyler Breeze versus the Velveteen Dream won with 34% of the votes.
I'd say that was. I mean, it's still. I was still interested in that match, but I wasn't say it was the one I was most.
I think it was most interesting. Like we've seen Cole Gargano before. I think there was a lot of like I was interested to see how Tyler Breeze would do. Like we haven't seen him wrestle properly for a long time,
and we saw a different.
And we knew this was going to be a big opportunity for him.
It's just so interesting. They just randomly threw this takeover together. A lot of the arena here in Bridgeport, Connecticut, is where this event took place. And I found it like maybe it didn't sell out, so they darkened it a little bit. But the crowd got into it at certain parts.
I don't know if it wasn't sold out. I'd like to hear. I know a few of our listeners were there, so I'd love to hear from them to see how full it was. Because there was a couple of shots like from wide, and it looked pretty sold out. Yeah, I think it's just
NXT always does the indie.
They always dim it a bit anyway, and obviously without there being a pay-per-view or a Raw or SmackDown, they didn't have the classic WWE set. They just had their like traveling set.
Yeah, and I don't care. NXT is like developmental. It makes it seem like an indie show. They always,
they did this with Evolution last year. They had this set, and a lot of people were going, "Oh, did that sell badly?" Because they dimmed it. But apparently, that was sold very well as well. So
because the crowd woke up in certain parts.
Yeah, I think it's just the look.
Yeah, that makes more sense. Well, this card was crazy. I do know they taped some matches for the Hangover show.
Okay.
So technically, that means we have to do a Hangover show next week. So get ready for that.
Absolutely.
So I'll have to. Oh, I introduced you to Hennessy this week. What am I going to introduce you to next week?
I don't know. Well, I'm actually closing the night before, so I'm going to be tired. So I won't be hungover.
You might be.
I'll seem hungover.
I'll get to you after your shift. Yeah. I'll get to you. So they taped some stuff. So if you're looking to see Kona Reeves in action,
I am.
You got to tune in next week
on
the Hangover show.
I'm sold. I'm sold.
Yeah, it's the finest, and he's the finest. So let's get into the show. Let's start off NXT Bridgeport, NXT 25. Now, David made the mistake of putting his computer in the shop. Actually, no, I'm not going to lie. They kind of screwed you over. So we only have one computer. So all my notes are on my phone now.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to try to look at my phone.
We're not being antisocial. These are the notes we're just like, we're doing this review. And like,
I am a person who will, if I'm hanging out with you, I'll put my phone in my pocket.
You know, I did this thing the other week. There were about 10 of us.
Okay.
And we went, we will get onto the show, but we just went, before we started, we went, right, everyone's phones out in the middle, put them face down in the middle, all on top of each other. If you reached and got your phone, you had to buy everyone there a shot.
Nice.
Now, I can't afford to buy 10 people a drink, so I was off my phone all night, and it was quite nice.
Good, see? I do it all the time. I don't like to be on my phone, unless, I got to go on Twitter and see what wrestling Twitter is all about.
Absolutely.
That's all the rage these days. So let's get into this TakeOver Bridgeport, TakeOver 25. It starts off with a match I was very looking forward to. Roderick Strong versus Matt Riddle. Now, you were dancing around like Matt Riddle all day in the house. I feel like that should be my walk. Because
it's just such a good walk.
Yeah, you walk like him, mocking him. But I feel like I walk like Shaggy from Scooby-Doo. But
you have a weird like penguin walk. It's
we don't need to talk about it. I have like the same leg issue as like Matt Hardy. I can do leg drops off cages.
Right. Talking of dancing, I spotted my friend Scott Rodriguez front row dancing away to Matt Riddle. So he was the star of Bridgeport.
Matt Riddle, Nigel brings up the fact that Roderick Strong may or may not have attempted murder on. They don't mention any stabbing, but they do mention the bloody flip-flop. These is bloody shoes. Roderick Strong is wearing some new gear with the Undisputed Era stuff, and Matt Riddle is in some nice white and gold with zebra, and he kicks the flip-flops at Roderick Strong. Usually he does it in like his entrance, but he kicks them purposely at him. He's like, you want to try to kill me in my flip-flops? You want to get blood on my Nike flips? You know how expensive? Are they? I bet they already have Matt Riddle flip-flops.
Probably. What, on the store?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
He's probably
they
wearing.
will. They will.
I guarantee he's probably wearing.
Once he's main roster, that's
for
being sold.
Yeah. I want some Gucci slides is what I want. I'm a fan. But it's open toe weather in Toronto in the summer. I'm not a fan.
No
open. If you're like only dads.
Oh, you're not a sandal and flip flops guy. Sandal and socks guy, then, are you?
No,
that's
just no open toes unless you're at a beach or like you're on vacation or you're a dad.
It just fucks my feet up.
Or you're
walking around a city in flip flops. No,
only Matt Riddle pulls it off. I don't know why he does it, but he does it. The match starts off. There's a series of like side waist locks and a lot of out wrestling each other. If you followed Roderick Strong's career, he's a very technical wrestler and. Matt Riddle, like coming into pro wrestling in the indies, he's also that kind of smash mouth style. So these two clashing is almost like a little bit of a dream match, I'd say. There's so many gut wrench suplexes from Matt Riddle. Roddy hits his classic backbreaker off the apron. There's like half Nelson, full Nelson. There's like stretching across the ring post. Roderick Strong hits his angle slam, the Olympic slam, almost like I love two. These aren't big lads wrestling, but two technical. I know we just saw on NXT TV Kushida and Drew Gulak, and when the styles are the same, it can still go really well.
Oh yeah.
So I found that with this really, really well. I know you're not a fan of Matt Riddle's like character, but his in-ring.
Oh, I've never had an issue with his ring stuff.
Yeah, he's so talented. I need to check out some of his stuff earlier on.
Oh, yeah.
We watched some of him. We've seen him in Smash Wrestling last year at the Northern. At the Northern's this weekend. Go check it out here in Toronto. But he's fantastic. There's the end of the heartache attempt, but it's turned into the bro buster. There's so many different moves, but we'll get to the greatest move name in maybe wrestling history. There's palm strikes and kicks, and there's exploders, the bro to sleep, and a bridging German for 2. There's a superplex from Roderick Strong. And then Roderick Strong decides, like, Matt Riddle's like draped on the ropes, kind of standing. Roderick Strong decides to run up and down the ring, run the ropes.
This is fantastic.
Yeah, every time he's running the ropes, he forearms him, runs back, forearms him, back and forth. It was like a train of forearms. It was so funny. It was good because he was nailing him with these forearms. And after this, the crowd is getting so into this because he's not stopping. He's just killing him with these. And he goes for the stronghold, which is his like lion tamer, his old finisher, like in Ring of Honor days. I noticed that Roderick Strong did a lot of. I feel like this is technically his biggest match because he's never had.
I think so.
Has he had a takeover match before?
He had one against Andrade in San Antonio.
Yeah, this was his.
But he was a different character then. That was Dad Roddy. Andrade wasn't particularly over at the time either.
Right.
I can't remember the match. I'm sure it was great, but I think Roddy's coming to his own a lot more now.
Definitely, very impressive. And this, I feel like he was just pulling out everything. He was like, "Listen, I know this is all the most eyes I'm having." Because like he was the workhorse in Ring of Honor. He's become a workhorse in Undisputed Era over the past few years, but finally getting his own like one-on-one big moment here against a big dude like a star. I thought it was great. So he's pulling out like the stronghold, the backbreakers, every single like half Nelson backbreaker, just crazy. Finally, there's like a crazy sequence with like flash knees is what the final flash is what Morrow's calling one of Riddle's knees. Didn't you say, I didn't hear it, but did you say he called the knee? He
did a ripcord knee, like Rollins does and Kenny does. Yeah. And he actually, Morrow called it a ripcord V-trigger.
Nice.
Which V-trigger is very much Kenny's name for it. And I don't remember it being called on WWE TV before.
Roddy used to do the Gibson special, which is like the fireman's into the double knees gutbuster in honor of Jamie Noble. So he did that in the match as well. He even hits his Tiger Bomb, which is the butterfly into the power bomb. The Riddle kicks out, so he turned it into the stronghold, into the lion tamer, and I was like, yo, maybe he'll make Riddle tap out here. Like, damn,
well, there was a lot of focus on, I feel every match in this show had a lot of focusing on an injured body part.
Sure.
This was focusing on Riddle's back.
Yeah.
So obviously Roddy is the messiah of the backbreaker. Yes. So he's doing all his backbreakers.
Yes, all of them.
The stronghold as well
hurts
the back.
You ever been put in the lion tamer in the walls?
Oh yeah. I prefer putting people in it.
Yeah. I've literally, not a joke. This is not a sexual innuendo. I've walked into your room and you had your girlfriend in the walls of Jericho. Yeah, just that is not okay. That's just straight honest. I walked in and I was like, oh,
it's normally the
and you're like cat.
It's normally the clover leaf.
Oh, the clover leaf.
Yeah,
nice. Right. So he has him in a stronghold, and I'm saying I'm gonna bite. I think Riddle should tap out here, and of course, Matt Riddle, the bro, he escapes. He gets out of it. He hits the bro. He locks in the bro mission. Hits a bunch of back elbows. I think I messed up the name of the move because the move he hit earlier was like doesn't he use the move to finish? Is what he pinned.
It was the move. It's the knee that he used on Ono, which he pinned him in 6 seconds in his first match. Right. And they drew attention to that. They were like, oh, this finished off Cassius Ono in 6 seconds. Right. But Roddy kicked out. So they're building up some multiple finishes for Riddle.
Because he has this move called the Bo Derek. The Bro Derek. Not Bo Derek.
That was the finish.
Yeah. He beats him with this. Because Roddy escapes the bro mission,
Well, just before this,
listen to this sentence. Roderick Strong escapes the bro mission, but then gets hit with the bro Derek. Wrestling is very strange. Yeah, sorry.
Well, you had with the selling of the back, you had Riddle go for his Broton, which is the like moonsault into the.
Sorry, the what? The Broton.
The Broton.
Yeah.
He does his like moonsault into the senton.
Yeah.
And Roddy got his knees up. And then when he did get the bro mission locked in, it was the back giving out why Roddy got out of it.
Sure.
So we've seen Riddle win with the bro mission a bunch. We saw him beat with the, what do they call the flash finish or something?
The flash. Final Flash.
Final Flash. Yeah. We've seen him beat Ono with that.
So
now in this match, he's pulled out something else to beat Roddy.
So Riddle's a machine. I would say Riddle, after this match, wow, what a banger. Like this.
So the bro Derek is, it's like
tombstone, but you like don't land on the
tombstone.
You land like sideways,
like
you slam
into a pedigree, sort of.
Kind of like yeah, it's still cool. I really like it.
Yep.
The bro Derek. I wonder if they'll change that. Mario called it.
Yeah,
but like interesting. I did a face swap on my phone to see what they would look like if you put Matt Riddle's like really stoned face on Bo Derek's beads, dreaded hair on the beach, and it was very scary. So that was a classic.
It was a good match. It was a good opener.
Yeah.
I normally love Mauro Ranallo, and I was a bit put off early in the match. I don't think the crowd throughout the whole show, really, I don't think the crowd were as hot as your usual TakeOver crowd. And there was the bit
a lot to get them in.
There was this, and I think Mauro maybe was trying to make up for that because I mean he's over the top anyway. But there was the superplex spot, which superplex is a big move, but it's in every match. We see it a lot. The superplex,
of course,
now.
Yeah.
And he kind of lost his shit on it, and it kind of put me off. And I thought, I don't think I'm into this match as much as I should be. But then after that, it really started to pick up.
It got crazy. Yeah, those two delivered. I want to see more Roderick Strong. I might want to see Matt Riddle challenge for the title, the main title.
I think that's where he could be going.
I think so. After killing Roddy,
I worry for Roddy a little bit.
No, put him in the next TakeOver or put him in alternate with the. Don't worry. We'll talk about the prophecy later.
Sure. Okay.
We'll talk about the prophecy later.
Okay.
Don't worry. We'll talk about the prophecy. Let's go to our next match. This was chaos, and Mauro has told us time and time again that chaos is a ladder. This was a 4 tag team title ladder match. So that's a lot of guys. That's a lot of ladders. This was just bananas. This was crazy.
I've just seen Way has changed his name on Twitter.
Oh my God.
To Cowboy Waiting, and his little profile just says yeehaw.
Oh my God. Ridiculous. Yes, there was a post-wrestling fan in the crowd. If you saw certain shots on this tonight's show, it said Cowboy Waiting because he's a cowboy, obviously. I love cowboys.
Who doesn't love
Back
cowboys?
to the Future 3 is my favorite.
Our first Halloween together.
I was a
cowboy and you were the cow.
I was the cow and you were the cowboy.
Yeah.
Wow, that's really cute. Yeah, yeah, that's true. He's stealing your gimmick, technically. Give him the hat.
Yeah.
This tag team ladder match was just insane. There were so many things in this. Let's go. The Street Profits versus the Forgotten Sons versus Undisputed Era versus Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch. Now, we said there's some TakeOver debuts here. We got all the teams. We already mentioned who's debuting, but I liked some of the gear that the guys are coming out in.
Ford especially. Oh,
yeah. If you're a regular who just doesn't watch the NXT TV shows, which, hey, there's a lot of wrestling out there. Maybe you don't check it out. Sometimes you should check it out because these guys going to Evolve. Gabe helped them out. He must have scouted
I'd say the last 2 or 3 months.
They've improved.
Oh, they've been great.
What's in those red cups?
Yeah.
Really.
The num juice.
Yeah. These guys have much improved, and especially tonight. So there's tons of head strikes and crazy strikes from Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch. When they get on fire with their chops, he lit up Kyle O'Reilly's chest.
Poor Kyle. Let's take a moment's pause for Kyle O'Reilly.
Pour a little out for Kyle O'Reilly's back tonight.
Yeah.
And so Kyle O'Reilly's chest gets fucking torn up like a piece of meat, and That's not the worst of his problems in this match by far. There's a tope over the top from Wesley Blake where he like goes over the ladder. That looked crazy onto everyone. Dawkins with his first takeover splash off the corner onto everyone. Everyone kind of jumped in to get landed on a splash, but it still looked cool. It still got over. The crowd was really hot for just, I think, everyone in this match. Yep. More specifically, Undisputed Era. They're really hot. When we go to these NXT shows, like in New York, everyone's rocking the tees.
Yeah.
So Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish are still really over.
Oh, yeah.
I would say. I write here that Kyle falls off a ladder really bad and lands on his back.
Oh,
what spot is that? Because that's a lot of the spots in this match.
Well, it was when he was first one was he was climbing the ladder, and it was the standard being pushed off, but the ladder basically landed before he did. Normally, you kind of land at the same time,
right? And he landed on the
the side of the ladder,
and later you would see his back was like cut and red. Yeah, it looked poor Kyle. But then that wasn't the worst spot for him, because not soon far after there was a spot where there's a standing ladder and two guys are on the ladder, and he gets the ladder's set up standing and there's guys on it. Someone, I think, is it Riker, I guess, power bombs him against the standing ladder, which then falls again. Everyone falls. He lands, hits the ladder again. Like, just insane.
Everything was back on the ladder.
So that's when Morrow has the greatest call and says, "You killed Kyle," which was just amazing. I found that Kyle O'Reilly played the role of Johnny Knoxville in this match, meaning he just took all the bumps.
He took everything. Yeah.
Like, you want to talk about Randy no bumps or Randy two bumps? This was Kyle all bumps.
I think the scariest one, though, was Forgotten Sons had the ladder on their necks, like Bubba Ray Dudley used to do when he like spin around.
Both of them. So in one has one guy's head and one in the other.
And they get hit by 1-2 with a double German suplex.
Yeah.
And I mean, they needed to throw that ladder.
You need to get the ladder off. Your necks would break. You could die.
I was cringing.
Yeah,
because I knew something was coming.
So they have to.
So they throw it, and poor Kyle O'Reilly, having just had his back fucked up like 3 times already, crawls back into the ring, and then a ladder just comes flying.
He didn't get hit though, but
he didn't get hit.
It looked like it could have been.
I think both of our hearts just stopped at that point.
Yes. Oh my God. Just insane. I lost my damn mind. He just took all the bumps in this. Kyle all the bumps. There was like crazy frog splash by Montez Ford. They do the classic Shelton Benjamin, Charlie Haas greatest tag team, like jump over splash with like your crotch, I guess. Yeah. But it was on the ladder. It looked cool. It was a shout out to those guys. There was a lung blower, like German suplex onto the ladder from Kyle O'Reilly, where he like somehow still fighting in this matchup. I don't know how. Kicks up. He hits like a code breaker, but then kicks him back up, and then Bobby Fish wheelbarrow or snow suplexes him or whatever.
It was like an assisted DDT.
It was nuts.
And then into the German suplex. It looked great.
It was nuts. This whole match was just dangerous, like insane. Morrow is losing his mind for this. There's a spot where there's a double Doomsday Device European uppercut, then the crazy electric chair blockbuster from the Street Profits. This move is great.
Montez Ford seems to move in slow motion when he hits these high flying moves. When he hit it, you were like, wow, he's just floating in air. He was just floating in the air. Yeah. It seemed like 3 seconds before like they landed. It was beautiful.
You'll float too if you wrestle Montez Ford. He hits the crazy blockbuster off the electric chair. It looks crazy. This is where the crowd's hot for Street Profits, and of course, Jackson Riker. This is where Jackson Riker was introduced. I kind of jumped to that powerbomb spot because Kyle's back is fucked. Jackson Riker comes in. Everyone's mad.
Well, Kyle at this point is... What's great is it takes Kyle's reaction before you see Jackson Riker. So poor Kyle O'Reilly has taken all this damage, and now he's like, everyone's down. I'm climbing the ladder. We're going to be champions. And you just see his eyes, and he's got the best facial expressions. Over the top as fuck, but they're so brilliant. Yeah. His eyes just go wide, and you're like, oh, fuck, he's seen something bad, and it shows Jackson Riker coming out.
The big guy, Gunner from Impact, TNA days. He comes out. He's looking all nasty. He comes down to the ring. He beats up everyone. He's on the ladders. He's literally beating up every single person. But by the time he tries to help Wesley Blake and I'm literally forgetting his name. Steve Cutler. The gimmick is real. Forgotten Sons. He's trying to help them, but then all the other teams come back. And then this is where it's like, like stomping a mud hole. Everyone else, they throw the Forgotten Sons except Riker. Then they all put the boots to him. They stomp a mud hole dry. That's gang related. They just stomped him out. Like, it was really funny. People should GIF this because it's like when you post a bad tweet and it's like people stomping. It was so funny. He gets it. He gets thrown out of the ring, and Montez Ford goes to do a huge tope over the ladder, over into the outside. But I feel like Riker was too far.
Oh, he was far too far. So this was a scary moment because he had to commit to it. Right. And you saw before he even took off, like, Riker's way too far. He clips him with his foot. So the move looks good because he hits him, but it's not the nicest landing you'd want on this kind of move.
He looked okay because his head didn't bounce. And then right after, it was someone else who jumped.
Only Lorcan does his like plunger.
And even he got fucking like tossed aside essentially. But crazy spots left and right. This match from start to finish was just insane. Just chaos, like Morrow said. It's a ladder. There's a ladder toe, a concerto, but with ladders from Undisputed Era, by Oni and Burke, I mean. But then the Forgotten Sons, they're trying to knock everyone, and everyone falls. The classic when everyone's up, and then the two ladders, and then like it all falls down.
think everyone bits that Forgotten Sons have won because they do the thing which I like. It's the heels cheating doesn't necessarily lead directly to the win, but like assists, like it causes a slight distraction or haziness. So obviously it's no DQ, so it's not cheating, but everyone thought when Riker came out, it's like, oh fuck, Forgotten Sons are winning this. And then the good guys managed to take him out, and then they all got taken out again, and Forgotten Sons are climbing. And we've seen enough ladder matches where people are going, oh, really? So and you heard the groan from the crowd.
Sons, they're climbing the ladder, and out of nowhere, in fact, the camera didn't even really get it because the guy just appears out of nowhere.
Which is perfect.
He just appears mystically, is Montez Ford, because he springboards, lands on the ladder, climbs up, pushes him off.
He does a great look where he comes and he's like, hiya, socks him.
Boom, grabs the straps, and the Street Profits in their takeover debut here win the NXT Tag Team titles in a fantastic, crazy ladder match. This was reminiscent of the crazy shit that the Hardy Boys and Edge and Christian wanted to do. I enjoyed this one more so than the Money in the Bank a few weeks ago.
Okay. I felt at times I was worried about the safety. Obviously,
This was
obviously all these big spots. There's danger, and we often see the jumps off the top through a table or stuff like that.
Yeah.
There was a lot in this match where it maybe didn't look particularly safe. I know that's a funny word to use, but I was worried that things didn't go quite right. Like the landing on the side of the ladder, the Jackson Riker being a bit too far away. Don't get me wrong, it was a great match, and you want that sort of fear in this, but I was worried too much for the performers than like, oh, that was a really cool
You know why? Maybe because some of these guys have been developmental and they haven't been, maybe, going to Evolve is great and stuff, but you haven't had ladder matches.
You haven't had ladder matches. There's also the adrenaline of this is your big one.
Yeah.
You're going to try and steal the show as well.
Right.
Don't get me wrong. I like the match, but at times it felt kind of sloppy dangerous rather than
but still crazy.
A big spot.
Oh, so crazy.
I loved early on, shout out to, I think it was Steve Cutler, I think, did a suicide dive.
Yeah.
But like we were saying about Ford appearing, it just came out of nowhere in the shot.
Yeah.
That moment was great. There was a Game of Thrones reference from Mauro. He said, forget about Bran the Broken. It's going to be O'Reilly the Broken.
Mauro Ranallo makes a hip-hop reference an hour. I think it's his quota. I think he's got to make...
How hip-hop's Game of Thrones?
No, he made another one. Okay. Well. Yeah, but he hit a few. I swear you mentioned Grand.
Also... Dawkins' spear through the ladder that led to the finish.
Right.
That was great.
Yeah, and it's unlucky to go under a ladder.
It is, but
he did it and
paid off for them.
Yeah.
I like this match. I'm pleased I'm pleased Street Profits won.
Yes.
Slightly emotional. It was nice. We've seen these guys a long time, especially Dawkins.
I've been watching this guy with the backpack.
Finally click, and like he must be fucking over the moon right now.
Yeah, exactly. They're partying up with their numbers.
And
you see the photo with them and Triple H with the cups? Triple H poses every time you win the titles. Well, they've got one with Triple H drinking some red Solo Cup party.
I'd like to see them against Undisputed at
Toronto TakeOver. Yeah, that makes the most sense to me.
I think that could be great.
I think that's where they should go. Sorry, Forgotten Sons.
Also, I love just Bobby Fish's vocals throughout the match.
Time's up,
you got
buddy.
O'Reilly's facial expressions, and Fish is like, watch it.
They're fantastic.
Yeah, great match.
They're a unit. We get a vignette for a new wrestler debuting soon on NXT. It is for the man known as Damian Priest. It shows a bunch of like tattoos and like, I don't know, I got a weird like S&M bondage vibe. I don't know, it's tattooy, weird. I don't know. If anyone recognizes the name Punishment Martinez, this is his new name, Damian Priest. So I don't know, I got weird.
It's interesting because we've seen him as Punishment Martinez 2 or 3 times in NXT.
Yeah, I hate that. Punishment. Punishment. I've watched him for years on the Ring of Honor circuits, the past few.
Yeah.
And I'm always going into the match. He was advertised against Will Ospreay a few years ago in Buffalo, and I went there. And I was like so down because I got to see Ospreay versus Punishment. Like, really? That's the match you give me? And then you know what?
That was the one we went to. No, was it?
No, it was in Buffalo. Okay. And like Punishment, he was good. Right. So I was like, okay, maybe I got to give this guy some credit. So maybe a new name change and this whatever.
Damian Priest.
It's like, hey, Aleister Black worked. Let's do it again.
Yeah.
That's what I got at that. So Damian Priest coming soon to NXT. Let's go to our next match. It is the Women's NXT Championship.
No, it's not.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry, we had Candice wishing Io good luck and saying, don't worry about the other two. I got your back. I was sure we were having a Candice LeRae heel turn tonight.
She wasn't wearing the black lipstick.
She was not.
So,
but no, next is Dream versus Breeze.
Sorry, I skipped ahead and read the Damian Priest one. Again, not used to read.
I didn't think you read ahead.
Yeah, I never read ahead. Who would do such a thing on this show called NXT? They tape multiple endings now. I can't read ahead. We go to the next matchup. Sorry, you're right. It's Tyler Breeze versus Velveteen Dream. Look, everyone, it's Tyler in a new outfit, a new Tyler Breeze, a darker Tyler Breeze, a washed down, like beaten down old vet.
I was underwhelmed by this entrance.
Yeah,
because the whole story is Dream is Tyler Breeze 2.0.
Yeah,
and I think they should have gone out to try and just out entrance each other.
Okay, John Pollock once said that I'm good at calling gear for wrestling shows. I would say what I suggest someone would come dressed as, and I'm like, I've nailed things. I've called like literally a bunch of entrances. And you said, what is Velveteen Dream going to come out? And I joked, I don't know, it's Bridgeport. Where is that? Like Connecticut? What's he going to dress? What's he going to dress as? Someone from the Hamptons? Was he going to dress like that? Or is he going to dress like a blue blood? Well, he comes out in the Jerry Seinfeld, the shirt, the furry shirt. But if you ask me, it's actually an ode to Triple H, Hunter Hearst Helmsley, the blue blood. So technically,
it's all of it.
Yeah, I got it all. So credit to myself. I thought that shirt, he looked like Prince coming out.
Oh, he looked great. His hair was all done up.
He didn't have much of an entrance, just the outfit.
No, it was the entrance. I think it was the outfit. Yeah. But again, it made you feel this was maybe a bit of a watered down takeover.
Yeah.
I thought Breeze's gear, it was too much in the middle. He either needed to do a complete new look for this.
Yeah.
Or really go back old school, have the frilly, furry.
He didn't even have that
bottoms.
He's like a darker version.
It was just too much in the middle.
He's older.
I think he should have changed it up completely.
Sure.
I was underwhelmed. I was expecting.
Well, I'll tell you why I was underwhelmed. The dude had his selfie. The entrance on the camera was on, and then the screen was his selfie. So he's walking to the ring like he used to do. The problem was, where's the selfie stick?
Oh yeah.
Why didn't you come out with the selfie stick?
True.
That should have been a huge part of this show, the match. It should have been a huge part of the angle. And in the finish, like we're going to talk about it, the title is brought in for some reason. Why was that not the selfie stick?
Yeah. You're absolutely right.
Again, you know what? Because they're banned in Disney World. That's why. Don't forget it.
I like the way both milked the crowd to start with. I think maybe it felt a bit flat, so they both kind of sat back a bit, and the Breeze is gorgeous, the Tyler's gorgeous chant started, and Velveteen. Yes. I thought they were great because they allowed that to happen.
The crowd did get into the old classic Breeze is gorgeous. The match starts off, Velveteen Dream hits his classic double axe handle. He then hits a lion salt. So maybe he's trying to wave to Chris Jericho. It's like, I see you in Vegas, Chris. I see you. Breeze does like a leg wrap around the post on Dream attacking his leg, and then locks in the middle of the ring the single leg crab, the maple leaf, if you will. Breeze is Canadian and was trained by Lance Storm. I'm sure he's taught him a lot more than just that move. Dream then puts him like on the announce table. They're outside, and he takes his phone, Tyler Breeze's phone, and starts taking selfies while Tyler Breeze is like.
And we all know selfies hurt way more when on a table.
all moves hurt
on a ramp or a table hurts way more.
Yeah. There's I want to see these selfies. I bet he's posted them.
Oh, they'll definitely post these for sure.
He's then gets off the table, but again runs into a supermodel kick. We will see a bunch of these. When it's a super kick from Tyler Breeze, it's called the supermodel kick. Just so you're updated on your Tyler Breeze knowledge. Okay. Yeah, check. There's a bunch of supermodel kicks. In fact, there's the Dream DT, which is like the Sister Abigail, but turned into DDT kind of.
Yeah, it's a cool looking move.
Twisting. We've seen him use it for a while now. They do like a fake out on some Dream Valley drivers and the Unprettiers, but Dream hits the Unprettier on Tyler Breeze.
Yeah.
So they're all doing each other's.
A lot of trading moves in this show.
Yeah, I thought so, which is great. There he goes for the purple Rainmaker, but Breeze gets his knees up. Breeze hits a cheeky Nando's kick and hits the Unprettier, and Velveteen Dream sells it like crazy, but you can't keep the Dream down. The Dream is always alive. He kicks out. And I was like, hey, maybe Tyler Breeze wins this. I kind of got into the match more so into that section. And he kicked out, so he's kind of mad. He hits the beauty shot, but Dream rolls out of the ring. Breeze tries to stop. This is where it got a little weird. The finish here. Breeze stops the 10 count, tries to tell the ref to stop the 10 count. But we see in wrestling, people stop the 10 count all the time.
Yeah, you just roll in the ring and roll back out.
And the gimmick here is you're like the NXT vet. Dude, you should know. It was
dumb.
Yeah, you should know the way. So he's counting out Dream, but Tyler Breeze is now in the ring telling the ref to stop counting because he wants him to come in. Dream grabs the NXT title, but the ref stops it, and somehow Tyler Breeze gets it. He takes it away from him, which allows Dream to hit the Dream Valley driver, the DVD, the rolling DVD, jumps up to the top rope, hits the purple Rainmaker, the elbow drop, and pins Tyler Breeze. And
it's also Breeze had the opportunity to use it and decided against it.
Which I thought was weird because Dream is the face, kind of.
No, I think
Dream is still this weird, like
I feel in this Breeze was playing the face.
Yeah, maybe.
He's the vet.
But he was all dark and like had stuff like scruff. And
he's had scruff for a while.
I don't know. Something was off with this. I felt like they could have.
It didn't quite hit for me.
Maybe Tyler Breeze was only offered $500. Maybe, just maybe.
Yeah, I thought this match was all right.
Yeah,
I was really hoping for something huge. I think maybe we bit once, but I think no one really believed Breeze was winning this.
Yeah, you need Dream to go.
Going into a match, I think you always like. It's nice to believe anyone can win.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was okay. There was. I said to you during the match, there was the bit where Dream gets caught in a drop kick where he jumps off the top rope.
Right.
And I hate so many wrestlers do this. Why he just jumps down because he knew
it's
that
like usually,
But all he's going for is a double axe handle. Like that's his move he does off the top. So he could have raised his arms and then eaten it.
But he just jumped to get the move.
Yeah.
People do that when they get RKO'd.
I know, and it bothers me.
Yeah. It's wrestling.
Yeah, I thought that, like, don't get me wrong, I thought this was a solid match.
I thought this was a good match.
It probably is still one of Breeze's. It's in the top of his matches.
Sure, we just did a watch along of the original TakeOver, and he fought Sami Zayn, and that was a banger. So he's good. I just thought maybe this was my least favorite match on the card, but this felt maybe more like a TV match. And we watch NXT TV.
I agree. And when we've seen Dream having match against people like Aleister Black and
Dream with anyone has a good match.
Yeah,
Dream is WWE.
I just think maybe it's the belief that Dream's holding this.
He should go for the main slot, but later on, keep the North American, give it some prestige, I guess. This is where the Damian.
Sorry, we didn't talk about the tombstones.
Yeah, sorry. They. They faked out giving each other a tombstone, but multiple times. Very strange. I think Dream just likes doing Legends moves. That's his
think so.
That's his.
There was no way in hell they were hitting this.
Not at all.
Not only because pile drivers are banned, but just the fact it's Undertaker's move. Anyone else's like okay, but. You ain't having Tyler Breeze hit a tombstone
pile drivers were banned, but then later in this match, we're going to see a few of them. In the main event, you'll see a few.
Well, yeah, Canadian destroyers are okay, but pile drivers are not.
After the match, there's a selfie. Dream wants to take a selfie with Tyler Breeze. So he doesn't want to do it. He's hesitant, but then he takes a selfie with him. Yeah,
Dream's being a bit of a dick. I thought it made Breeze look really weak.
Of course,
well. Yeah. I got what they were doing. They were doing the sort of, this is instead of the handshake. This is like Matt Riddle would do a fist bump. They were keeping it in character. But the whole selfie thing, it made Breeze look like he's looking up to.
Selfie stick was a big mistake, not bringing that as a main thing on the main roster. Right. It should have been a huge thing. Because when you think of selfie stick, in WWE, the guy uses it as a weapon. It's not so funny, but like it wasn't a thing. It's too bad. I thought so. This is where the Damian Priest thing was that I mentioned prior because I messed up. Let's go to now the women's match, which is Shayna Baszler versus Io Shirai for the NXT Women's title. The video package was part of the NXT Target special that they put on, not the store Target. They just called it like Target thing. I wish we still had Target in Canada, but we don't. They showed clips of that, and there's a clip specifically of Shayna being like, "Where's Kairi Sane? Gone. Where's this person? Gone. Where's Asuka? Gone." Like she's naming all the people. She's like, "I'm still here because I'm unbeatable." So I did like that. Io comes. I was trying to think of like her attire, but she always rocks the crazy, like
just very colorful, classic.
Yeah. We watched AEW Double or Nothing. We got to see that Joshi match, and like all the women in that match are like in crazy colorful costumes as well. I fucking love that. It's so great. I love that. We gotta check more of that stuff.
Yeah,
maybe review it. Some Stardom with WH.
Sure.
So Io Shirai versus Shayna Baszler. If you watch NXT TV, you know that that Io attacked her with the kendo stick and beat her up, and that Candice was going to help her out if need be. I got your back. The Horsewomen did not come out with Shayna Baszler, and Candice didn't come out with her to start. So we'll get to that. So the match starts off, and of course, Io is still hot, so she attacks Shayna Baszler right in the beginning. Shayna fights back early and kicks the arm. And again, you were right. There were a lot of working elements on people's body parts, which is old school wrestling.
It's great.
Have you seen the movie The Wrestler? When the scene where they're like, "Hey, you working on the? Oh wait, you're working on the arm tonight? Okay, cool. I'm gonna switch that up." I feel like that was an issue tonight. Shayna kicks the arm and then starts to work on it, and then does the classic Shayna Baszler elbow stomp, which they called the reality check.
Yeah, it's now got a name, and they drove it home because they mentioned it about 5 times in the first 3 minutes of this match.
Right. This move, I don't know how you do it and make it look like you're doing
it. Looks vicious.
It looks like you're breaking the person's elbow. It's insane.
Yeah,
it's crazy. I love that move. So Shayna keeps working on the arm of Io, and Io fights back and hits this like straight jacket bridging German suplex, and it looks beautiful. She kills Shayna.
The bridge is like, but so beautiful.
She's selling the arm, so she breaks it herself. Can't even pin her because her arm is so hurt. She goes for she connects with the 619, the faint tiger kick from Io Shirai. What's the area code in Bridgeport? What would it be? Money, $. There's a springboard drop kick and then a beautiful moonsault from Io Shirai to the outside. Rolls Shayna in, hits the double knees to the corner, not the balls to the face, but the Meteora, the knees to the face, right? Still a cool move. I like when she does it. I mean, Andrade probably does it just as good. They both do it.
Andrade looks like he's killing people.
True.
When he hits it.
He does. This is where the Meteora connects. It could be the end, but the Horsewomen, they run down. They're walking with their let's play, let's fight,
let's drink,
let's smoke.
Yeah.
That's what we got to get.
You got to get it.
Coming soon to ProWrestlingTees.com/upNXT. Go get all your UpNXT shirts there. Cheap plug. Bang, bang. So the Horsewomen are running down, but that's not all. Candice LeRae runs down with a kendo stick, and she beats these women up with this kendo stick.
She was out super quick. Do you think, I mean, are they sharing a dressing room?
Candice is like,
they're all watching it, and then Marina and Jasmine just run out, and she's like,
they run out there.
Look, there's a kendo stick right here.
And she runs up. She wallops them. It starts to snap and break.
I'm not a big fan, but poor Marina Shafir, because that's like 2 weeks now where she has eaten these kendo shots, and they've not been light.
for TakeOver Toronto, the tailgate party that we're gonna throw on here, I'm gonna go on Amazon and buy some kendo sticks because you can buy them.
Yeah.
I'm gonna beat you with it.
$10 to hit Braden with a kendo stick.
I know a few people that would sign up. I know a few people that would pay more.
I feel people want to hit you more with a kendo stick than me. Maybe I'm wrong.
I'll think about it. Candice LeRae beats them up with the kendo stick. Jesus Christ is what I wrote. The kendo stick is like broken in pieces. Candice then does like a running dive and takes out both of the horsewomen. But back in the ring, this allows Shayna to roll up Io with the distraction, but it's only a 2 count. She hits the shote is what Morrow calls it. It's like a huge palm thrust to the face, essentially. I love this. If it's actually called the shote, I want to shote people. Shote, and you hit them in the face with a palm. That's fucking great. She hits the moonsault, but Shayna rolls, but she lands on her feet beautifully. There's a reason they gave her that gimmick, Genius of the Sky, because she can fly a little bit.
She's what do they call Ricochet? The aerial. Oh, what is it?
Aerial
combat.
Oh yeah. True, sure, whatever. She then lands into some kicks, but gets caught in the Karafuda clutch. There's a crazy sequence here where they're going back and forth, escaping each other's moves, and she keeps getting locked into the Karafuda clutch, but then keeps getting out of it. But then it's locked in one more time, and when you think Io Shirai is going to reach the ropes, she doesn't. And finally, the slow tap out, and Io Shirai, oh, no green light for her. She lost. Shirai still gets me high.
Both her and Kairi are so good at selling this and making you like urging.
Where were you, Kairi? Why couldn't you help out? You saw there was 2 horsewomen, and Candice took on both of them. Kairi was too busy with Asuka to help her out. That's sad.
Before we go into the post-match thing, what did you think of this match?
I liked it. I liked it a lot. I think this was Io Shirai's best showing.
Yep.
You got to see everything. She hit all her marks. I feel like both of them were really smooth in the way they were working. They kind of worked together. We have to go into the post-match because I'm wondering, do we get some sort of rematch or something? It's interesting.
It was confusing.
In kind of a heel manner, Io Shirai grabs another kendo stick, or the same one, and starts beating Shayna Baszler with it. She then moonsaults her. She then asks Candice to hand her a chair from under the ring. Candice is like hesitant.
She's kind of reluctant.
So she's like, oh, just take it. Oh, I can't. Oh, I'm not even looking. Oh, just do it. And gives her the chair. And then she climbs the top rope, puts the chair on her own stomach, moonsaults with the chair onto Shayna. Looks super great. Looks super painful. And basically starts yelling at her in Japanese. And that it's interesting because she was supposed to be the face. And there was people booing her. They were like, they turned on her a little.
I'm not quite sure where this is going.
Shayna as a face?
Like, I can't see them. I can't see, even if they try to turn Shayna face, I can't see that working.
Yeah.
And the way commentary were selling it, they would go, oh, this is bad sportsmanship and stuff. It didn't seem like that badass, like Stone Cold would lose a match and then beat the shit out of someone. It seemed heelish.
Mean.
So is this setting up for a rematch where you've got to kind of heel Io? I don't know. It feels weird. It makes sense if they're eventually going for an Io Candice match.
They could.
I just felt, and the fact she didn't lose by being cheated out of it. If the horsewomen cheated her out of it,
right,
it would make complete sense.
Sure.
And like she'd have got huge cheers.
She's just mad.
Whereas she's just mad because she lost fairly.
Oh, Io. Io. What's going on?
Yeah. So I mean, I could see maybe a rematch in Toronto, and then
maybe multiple,
and then build to.
I want to see more. I want to see more of Mia Yim. I want to see more Bianca Belair. So multi women match doesn't.
Apparently, the rubber match of Mia Yim and Bianca was recorded
tonight as well
for the Hangover.
They had Mia Yim t-shirts in the arena. They had Prince Pretty t-shirts as well there. That's on the Hangover show next week. Okay, that'll be interesting. We called that on the show this week. So Io Shirai, possibly a heel, the Genius of the Sky. I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Odd.
Yeah. Weird. They announced that NXT UK will be doing a takeover August 31st in Cardiff. And I instantly said, where's that? You're British.
Wales.
Where's that?
Wales.
Okay.
So another takeover. I think people have been waiting for another one to be announced because it's kind of just been in this limbo since it being directionless, really.
Right.
Like, so it's good they've got something to build to. Will you be watching?
Yeah, definitely. We'll talk about it. We've been watching bits and pieces of UK. Some of it's good, and some of it's just like
I feel it's lost a whole lot of steam.
Yeah. I really like the ring camp. I love Fabian Eichner, Bartel, and Walter, of course. The rematch was more with Pete Dunne and Walter. The rematch was more lackluster on TV past week.
It was more.
They're setting up the angle to build the three-way match.
Strong style. Yeah.
So watch UK because there's some good guys there actually.
Yeah.
I do enjoy the matches weekly on NXT UK. I have to say, but you got to kind of sift through some stuff. I find because I kind of get a little. I don't know. Maybe I have ADD or something. I'm like,
you definitely have ADD.
True. So look out for NXT UK Cardiff, August 31st. Are we going? Can we go?
Go to Cardiff?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, just checking. You wanted to go to this show. I wouldn't have been mad because this show delivered. Let's go to the main event. What Morrow says, the magnum opus of main events. Opus. The magnum opus. I'm only familiar with one of those words.
Which means really good.
Really good. All right. Well, let's talk about the entrances here because Adam Cole comes out, baby. But his entrance music is different. He's got a takeover entrance, if you will. Just a slight adjustment. A rapper. The guy on Twitter who raps over everyone's wrestling themes, Wrestle and Flow, he is here on NXT. He's made it all the way from the internet to NXT. This is so awesome. As a guy who likes hip hop and wrestling, this is fucking cool.
So, now we have a goal where Uncle Paul does his live takeover chats. Triple H does his chats after takeover. We need to be the guy. We need to be on the pre-show or whatever. That's our goal.
You want to be the guy in the shorts?
Yeah. In shorts right now.
Shorts. It's hot in the 60s.
It is, yeah.
It's hot in the 60s days. Yes, the magnum opus of main event, Wrestle and Flow. He comes out and he's rapping with like a rap over the Undisputed Era's theme song. It's fucking lit.
This was really cool.
This was so cool. He follows Adam Cole to the ring. Adam Cole does his cool walk to the ring, gets up on the apron, and the part where it goes boom, the guy finishes rapping the verse right before it happens, and Cole hits it.
And he said boom as well.
And he does boom.
I don't know about you, but I had a bit of anxiety because, we've talked before about Nakamura whenever he misses the drop to do his thing. Yeah. And I was like, oh, I don't want him to rap over it. He's going to miss it. And then he just spat out a whole load of words and boom. This is really cool. Boom. I like this a lot.
I know you walk around our house and sing the Johnny Gargano theme song.
This rebel hop.
You sing. I think just that part actually. I don't think you know the rest of the words. I can hear you from the shower. You sing loud. But the other day I was bumping the Undisputed Era theme song.
Oh,
it's grown on me quite a lot.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Boom. I love it. The magnum opus continues because Johnny Gargano has some cool gear. He comes out for his entrance as Captain NXT.
Yeah, he's Captain Marvel.
Captain Marvel. His gear is really cool. He always has really cool gear.
He must spend quite a bit of money on his gear.
He's NXT champion, baby.
Yeah.
He's got it. He's got to. He looks good. The video package for this, again, was part of that Target takeover thing that they did. And I watched this. And why don't they do things more like this on NXT TV? It was like a documentary series following Gargano throwing the first pitch. We joked on our show without even watching it about 50 Cent throwing a bad pitch. And he mentions that him and Candice practiced throwing the pitch because he didn't want to, quote, 50 Cent it. So that was cool to see that. Watch that Target thing. Really cool. So Johnny Gargano as Captain Marvel against Adam Cole. The NXT championship is on the line now.
And it's got to be noted, Gargano is getting heavy boos.
Yes.
Here.
We were at TakeOver New York when Gargano beat him in the 2 out of 3 falls. And I would say the crowd was crazy for Adam through the whole thing. And I was the one guy being the Gargano guy in my section. Yeah, right. And sure, yeah, you love him, actually.
I love him, yeah.
But as the match progressed and got on, that match is like a movie. It continued on, and people started being like, oh, my God, this is crazy. Gargano, fantastic. So many guys were patting me on the back like, oh, yeah, you're right, in our section. Because he flipped the crowd. And that's how you know this guy's fucking great. Here, there was even more boos for him.
And I think now he is champion.
People
were like, you don't have the underdog story anymore, really. So people were fully behind Adam Cole
Right.
in this one.
It has to be duly noted that on the pre-show, right before the show came on the air, the pay-per-view went on the air, there was a guest at the panel, and it was the previous champion, Tommaso Ciampa, made his little comeback here. He cut a little bit of a promo. He said that he will be watching this match very carefully, but most importantly, my eyes will be on Goldie. And he also said that when I make my return, I'll be chasing that title. When I make my return. That's good news, is it not? That's the first time he's come out on TV and said this.
Yeah, he seemed pretty positive.
Yeah. I'm wearing his shirt right now. I love the guy.
It's a nice shirt.
Yes. So I'm excited for that. So maybe winner of this match? No, probably not yet. He's got a long time, I think.
He's surely going to come back as a face. As great as a heel he is.
No, he's such a bad heel. He's going to come back as a face and then quickly turn again.
Sure. Yeah. Fine. But they messed up Seth.
You all forgot about
You know when Seth Rollins came back a few years, they messed that up
big time.
Triple H, when he got injured the first time round,
was
the biggest heel.
Right.
Came back super over babyface.
Right.
I think, but him versus Adam Cole's fresh. Sure. I mean, but we're thinking way ahead. But should he be cleared? That'd be cool.
Well, let's go to this. I know that you say, we asked people on Twitter today, because it's TakeOver 25. It's been like 5 years of takeovers, what people's favorite takeover matches were. And to tell you, a lot of the tweets I got, I'm just rounding, people are really into Sasha Bailey from Brooklyn. People are really into, I'm blanking on it now, Shinsuke Nakamura versus Sami Zayn. I got a lot of those, considering. I got a lot of Gargano versus Cien Almas.
I'm aware of that match.
Yes. And I got a lot of people saying that it was this Magnus Opus, the 2 out of 3 falls, which I would say is
Magnum
Opus. God damn it. I say that that's my favorite NXT match. Maybe one of my favorite matches is the 2 out of 3 falls. So this is the rematch of that. Going into this, my expectations are crazy high for this.
Which is difficult. It's
so hard,
especially so soon after a big match like that to do it again.
I'm still cooling off from it.
Yeah.
So I've watched that one back a few times since we were there live, but we watched it. This one, I was ready for it, and I have to say, these guys delivered. Let's go. Let's talk about it. It's crazy. Morrow mentions all the former NXT champions leading up to this match. They start the match. They ring the bell. Both guys are trying to get early pinfalls on each other. There's a spot where Adam is outside the ring and his hand is on the apron, and Johnny jumps off the apron and does a double stomp to the arm of Adam Cole. The arm that he works on for the Gargano escape. So early on.
What I loved about this as well, I hate moves like that when it looks contrived. It's why I hate that hanging stomp.
Yes.
Because it rarely looks believable.
Yeah.
And this was Adam Cole just getting himself together, putting his arm just to steady.
He was
himself.
leaning. Yeah,
it wasn't setting up for this, and then Johnny just stamps on it.
It wasn't just a stomp; it was a double stomp.
Double stomp. Yeah.
So he's already working the arm for the Gargano escape, which is great. Adam Cole, similar to the last match, they play on the last match a lot. They know each other's moves so well that they know the counters to the counters of the counters. This match is meta, if you ask me.
I think you're referring probably to the bit where Johnny goes for the slingshot spear.
Right.
And he goes for it, and then he knows Adam Cole's going to probably try and super kick him.
And he goes,
so he doesn't do it, and Cole doesn't do the super kick.
Right.
And they just
it's
kind of sussing each other out.
It's really great.
Both are thinking 2-3 steps ahead.
This match, again, felt like a movie to me. I said the 2 out of 3 falls did. This one, exactly that. This one is crazy. Adam Cole says, the lead up to this match, I had you in the first fall. Technically, I should be champion. That's what he's trying to do here. He keeps going for the Panama City Sunrise, which is something he hits. It's the Canadian Destroyer, the pile driver, essentially. But he usually hops before he does it.
Yeah.
It's crazy. We'll get to that. He keeps going for it, but doesn't connect. Johnny hits a jumping tornado flatliner. Looked really cool. There's the slingshot spear, like you said. Johnny jumps to go for some sort of back move, but gets caught with a backstabber. Looked really, really great. I say that in my favorite wrestling, in wrestling, my favorite move, everyone's got a favorite wrestling move. And I always say on this show that it's the Ushi-Goroshi. Now, Adam Cole used to do it from the suplex lift into the Ushi-Goroshi. He called it the last shot. If you watched AEW, Britt Baker, she used it as the finisher.
Did, yeah.
She won the match with that move. Britt Baker apparently was sitting beside Stephanie McMahon for this match tonight, just FYI. So that's my favorite move. Is like, I call it since he's changed it, they just call it the Ushigoroshi from the knee. I call it the Sushi Goroshi because it's a suplex. Sushi, suplex. It's great. Adam Cole has now created a new one. He now doesn't lift you up in a fireman's carry. He lifts you up in the like burning hammer, the torture rack, flips you over and hits it like face first. Crazy. What would you call this?
It's almost like the Feast Your Eyes, isn't it?
Jack, yeah.
Like a hybrid of Feast Your Eyes and the Ushigoroshi.
You're like slamming a guy's face first, jaw first, essentially on your knee. Try doing this in your next backyard barbecue on some relatives and see how it goes. So not the Ushigoroshi, but the reverse Oroshi. So I don't know, whatever. The Bull Killer, essentially. The Gargano Killer, if you will. Looks fucking great. But Johnny kick out. The rain starts here. He kicks out of this. I lost my mind. I thought that was so great. There's a bunch of more super kick fake outs, and Johnny just gets super kicked a bunch of times in a row here. It looked great. There was a super kick. This was a super kick war, essentially. Both guys use the move a lot in their arsenal. There's super kicks outside, and then I was fanboying over the Ushigoroshi just then. Well, guess what? He hits it again on the outside, and then rolls him back, or maybe not on the outside, maybe on the outside.
On the floor.
Then he rolls him inside, hits the Sushi Goroshi, which is the suplex version. Again, my favorite move. But Johnny kicks out of it. I lost my mind. But guess what? If that wasn't enough, he then uses the straitjacket, the Kenny Omega version, and hits, once again, the straitjacket Sushi Goroshi. This match was just made for me, I guess. I lost my damn mind at Adam Cole. I'm chanting for Johnny Gargano in this match, but I gotta say, I was fanboying for Adam Cole quite a bit. What did you think of all the Ushigoroshis?
Well, yeah, it was they were pulling out everything, but I think the story was he hadn't hit the Panama Sunrise.
He's going for it.
He's gone for it at this point about 3 times.
Oh,
I think.
No, more than that. I wrote it down. I had to start calling it the PCS because I couldn't keep typing Panama City attempt in my notes.
He's gone for it a bunch and hasn't hit it yet, but has managed to hit his other big moves, which aren't getting him the pinfall.
So he knows he needs to hit that move. He keeps going for that. He then gets like flipped off the top rope from Johnny Gargano, and this looked kind of nasty. The referee quickly checked, like, "Hey, you good?" It looked like he maybe
popped the arm drag.
Yeah, he maybe like popped his shoulder out.
Yeah, he like landed pretty much,
but he was fine.
His shoulder.
He was fine. You could see the ref was like, "You good?"
But again, great, like happy accident. Then if he's fine, because it just added to the fact that Johnny was working on Adam's shoulder,
and
Cole was working on Johnny's knee.
Yeah, so Johnny's working on the arm, and Cole is working on the knee heavily. He gets he hits that arm flip, hits a satellite into the Gargano escape, which then on the injured arm that he just landed on. So it looks fucking great, but somehow Adam Cole turns that into a figure 4 lock with the injured knee of Johnny Gargano. So they're trading submissions here. It's insane. He keeps working the knee after the figure 4. He gets out of it. He exposes he takes the knee pad down, starts beating on it. He somehow ends up on the apron, and Johnny hits Ciampa's draping DDT, but only a 2 count there. He goes for a suicide dive, and this spot we both jumped out of our seat. So Cole gets hit with the draping DDT, but then rolls out of the ring on the entrance kind of way, but in front of the ring. And Johnny goes for his suicide dive. He hits all the time through the ropes, but as he goes, he's selling the knee. We say on the show all the time, Gargano is the best actor. This shows. So he's like going for the suicide dive, runs, but eats a super kick as he's landing.
Well, also his foot gets caught.
Yeah.
Which I thought, because Johnny Gargano is fantastic and so clever.
Yes.
I think he did this deliberately,
100%.
which is like essentially a botch, a thing people worry about with the suicide dive is getting caught up in the ropes.
Yeah.
And I think he did it deliberately because he was selling the leg. The only thing that made me think maybe he didn't was they didn't show this in the replay.
They didn't talk about it, but I'm telling you, you're
normally
right.
It's if they're trying to cover something up.
I'm telling you,
but I loved it. I think a deliberate botch because of your bad knee, I thought was fantastic.
Yeah, I think he's the best actor in wrestling. He should. You said he should be the next John Cena. Sure, people are gonna be like, yeah, look how small he is. Yo, he's good. Come on, he's such a acting.
Yeah,
he's so good. It's the little things, and he's so good at it. I said meta. So that looked crazy. He ate a super kick from a suicide dive. Looked nuts. So if you thought that was bad, then we really jumped out of our seats because Adam Cole off the apron to the outside finally hits the Panama City Sunrise, which is the jumping, hopping Canadian destroyer. It's a pile driver. He hits this on Johnny on the outside.
On the floor.
Looks insane. What a crazy spot. I thought to myself, ouch. But then I also thought to myself, after Morrow calling it, Panama City Sunrise sounds like a good drink. A name for a
completely.
Drink. Is it already a drink?
You've got the Tequila Sunrise.
Yeah, it's got to be something similar to that. We'll work
spirit is big in Panama?
Something. It's not like Daytona, but still something pretty greasy. I don't know.
Sorry, anyone from Panama or Daytona.
That's the gimmick. That's why he's got the, the Panama City Sunrise looks crazy. He rolls Johnny into the ring, but he can't get the 3 count. Johnny counters the last shot, puts him in the Gargano escape, but Cole keeps working the exposed knee, and it's not working. And he hits the last shot, but only a 2 count. So he claimed, hyping up to this match, I beat you with the last shot, 1 fall. But Johnny kicks out of it here, so he did not do that. There's a pump boot after pump boot from Cole, which Gargano then turns into this crazy clothesline, which flips him
this exchange,
out.
This bit was insane.
Yeah, it was like
just
non-stop.
They were like kicking each other in the head.
There was boos and yas and boos because the crowd was really against Johnny in this match, I would have to say. Then there's like there's super kicks on the outside, and then there's like a counter to a counter to a counter, which leads to Adam Cole receiving a reverse Hurricane Rana from Johnny Gargano, lands on his feet from it, and still connects with a last shot. And I bit so damn hard here, but Johnny Gargano kicks out. Johnny kick out again. I lost my mind. The ref is like stopping Cole because he's trying to grab a steel chair, which then Johnny suicide dives, but again doesn't connect because Cole throws the referee into the spot. He takes out the referee. He grabs a chair thinking that Undisputed Era was going to come by. He was waiting for them. He was psyched out essentially, but they never showed. So he was a little like disoriented. He was wondering where Kyle O'Reilly, we were so used to watching them interfere in their matches, right? They're pivotal parts, I would say. I was biting when are they going to show up here? When are these Wolves, Undisputed Era, going to show up? But he doesn't. So he's distracted, which then he somehow gets in the ring and he hits this like spike pile driver. I don't even know what this was.
Oh, like in the ropes. Yeah.
It was like
it was like a draping.
It was crazy.
I don't know how to describe it.
Adam Cole sets up for the last shot, but I need this as a gif. It's just Johnny Gargano on his knees and then just falls face first and face plants. It's like after a night of drinking, Johnny Gargano just lays down. So Cole's like, what am I going to do? He can't even sit up to get this move. So he goes for that, but Gargano escape is locked in and he's using his injured knee to like,
this was so clever. So normally he would plant both his feet to ground himself and apply as much pressure in the hold.
But his leg,
he knew his one leg is completely fucked. So he crosses it over his good leg, so is only pushing off that good leg.
So crazy.
But still protecting his injured leg.
I love
it. It's attention to detail like that makes him so good.
Yeah, little things with these guys. It's so great. So he's got the Gargano escape with the knee. He's there. But Adam Cole, the villain, sees the exposed knee right in front of him, so starts elbowing it. Vicious elbows to the exposed knee. He then super kicks the knee. He then super kicks the knee again. He hits the Panama City Sunrise one more time. The jumping Canadian destroyer hits the last shot, and we all knew what was coming. Adam Cole is the new NXT champion.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. What a match.
Great
Banger.
Match.
Banger.
So many good things in this match.
Woo.
I love the trading of finishers. So you had the moment where Gargano hit the last shot and then Cole locked in the Gargano escape.
Wow.
I always think I just go back to Austin Rock whenever there's trading finishes.
Yes.
It makes it seem epic.
It's crazy.
You don't see it a great deal, but when it's done, I think it's saved for like
big matches,
big feuds where these guys know each other inside out.
We were describing, they like psych each other, moves, counters. They know the counter from the counter. Like it's so in depth of just two guys trying to wrestle. Like they're so in depth about it, and I really enjoyed that. Again, Triple H was like, "Hey, Cody Rhodes, fuck you. I'm going to put on a better show. This whole show delivered. This match, I say that the 2 out of 3 falls is my favorite match. This match delivered up to the hype. I wouldn't say maybe I didn't like it as much. I might actually. I would give this all the stars. Honestly.
I think I prefer the first one just because it was the crowning moment for Gargano. I was fully behind him.
This was a crowning moment. Being
in the crowd, watching that turn, people going from booing Gargano and being won over. This was a great match. Don't get me wrong.
This was crazy.
I think I do like the last one more. I need to watch it again.
I can see a lot of people saying, "Yeah, we'll watch it again this week. We have to." I always like watching matches I lose my mind over again because I got to. I would say this card held up for me, and this match delivered for me. I don't know why, even thinking they wouldn't, because they just did. TakeOver does not miss.
Can I just ask? Didn't Drake Younger used to do death matches?
Yes, of course.
Why was he dead for like 5 minutes after a suicide dive?
He's a ref.
No, it's something in those shirts.
He's retired.
It's something in the shirts that just make you weep.
Yeah, I was laughing at you getting mad at that.
I enjoyed the show. I don't think I was as high up on it as you.
Okay.
I don't think there was anything wrong with it. There was nothing bad. Maybe it was the mood I was in today, or maybe it was I didn't think the crowd were as hot as previous takeovers. I got a similar vibe to I had for the Walter Dunn match in New York.
Okay.
Where it was good. For some people, that was match of the night. I was just...
Match of the year for some people.
I think NXT knock it out of the park every week, pretty much.
Right, yeah.
Especially the takeovers. I don't know. I can't quite put my finger on it. I just don't think I wouldn't put this as one of my top takeovers, even though I can't really think what to fault.
Okay. That's fair. I would say that this main event, I was really invested into. We were there in New York when everyone turned and became a Gargano fan for that moment, that crazy crowning thing. But at home watching this one, I was slowly like, oh man, now I kind of want to see Adam. Oh man, I want to see Adam Cole.
The thing is, it's the worry when watching NXT, it's the worry once someone loses that NXT title. It's like, next? Oh no, are you going to the main roster now?
Welcome to 205 Live. Johnny 205.
I really want to. We're both going to take over Toronto in August. I need one more.
Okay.
I need one more Gargano main event.
Okay. So Matt Riddle versus Adam Cole in Toronto. Is that the main event? I would book that if it was me, because that sounds fire. He beat Roddy.
It makes sense. Matt Riddle's already beaten Adam Cole.
Yeah.
You
got a long time
beat
to build
Roddy.
If you've been watching the TV, he beat Adam Cole.
Yeah, exactly.
Clean. He beat him clean.
Yeah. So that makes sense. Yeah. Where would Gargano fit on the card? If he is sticking around.
Well, what about like a 3-way? Would you like that or no?
I don't think so.
That. I don't know. Maybe he does. Maybe Johnny TakeOver doesn't have a slot. No, he shouldn't. But we'll see. I guess. I enjoyed this. The prophecy has begun.
It's begun.
The prophecy is undisputed. Adam Cole is NXT champion. Undisputed Era did not win the tag titles, but there's still time.
I think they could win that in August.
And Roddy could still win the North American. So honestly, the prophecy of Adam Cole, he said, beginning of the year, the end of the year, that Undisputed Era would be dripping in gold, and it looks like that could come true. I thought this match was great. So I'm looking forward to seeing where NXT TV goes afterwards, because it's always great.
Absolutely.
So we should see what other people
Let's go to some feedback.
We got forum.postwrestling.com is where we post up every Wednesday night for the NXT TV shows.
We have a lot.
We have a lot, so we kind of got to skim through some of it. I'll start off here with Jesse from the 666. He says, man, Johnny Wrestling losing the title on his first offense is whack. But even though I didn't like the result, I loved how they got there. Gargano Cole 1 may have been emotional, but I think Gargano 2 had a better story as a pro wrestling match. They told the story of each knowing each other's moves and subsequently second-guessing themselves perfectly, and they both sold their respective injured limbs sensibly and consistently. It's all about the selling. See, Jesse from the 6 knows. He says, we're all fortunate to be able to watch a generation of wrestlers who grew up watching wrestling and loving wrestling, and who approach their craft thoughtfully and creatively. And often these wrestlers perform in front of crowds who are not marks, to be conned non-fair weather fans who are coming just because of the proverbial circuses in town, but rather lifelong fans who approach the product knowledgeably and emotionally. The result is we get great wrestling, the greatest wrestling ever. So yeah, he's not wrong. Like it's true. They're doing this for this crowd. We're that crowd. It's not the classic WWE.
It's the crowd who are going to pick up. They don't need commentary telling you, like, if they're selling a limb.
I don't need Goldberg versus Taker.
Oh, I do.
I know you do. He says, having said all that, how dare these nutmeg snorting ass clowns boo Johnny Wrestling? This is why Connecticut can't have nice things.
Yeah, I didn't like that. Like, sure, you can cheer Adam Cole, but I'd have liked more pro.
Don't boo Johnny Wrestling.
Like who you like. But
yeah.
He doesn't deserve to be. He's a good guy. He's not someone who's being rammed down your throat.
Sure.
He loses a lot. Right. He puts on the best matches. How can you boo him?
Yeah.
Dickheads. We have Jake from the Windy City. How Vince McMahon responds to AEW, Brock boomboxing and dancing, a whiny Dolph Ziggler promo, and an awful Memorial Day party segment. How Triple H responds to AEW, makes the word wrestling seem legit by putting another superb and exciting takeover with matches exceeding the last takeover. Interesting. To be honest with you, I thought this takeover was just going to be a filler show with not much going on because of not enough time to build it. Boy, was I deluded. After the ladder match, I thought we already got our match of the night, but man, this main event is ridiculous. Everything about it is white hot. However, I thought the ref bump made no sense. The rest of Undisputed Era never came out. Other than that, was a legit surprise and popped when Cole won clean. Especially the crowd reactions. The crowd deserves some praise too. There is nothing better as a live entertainer than performing in front of a white hot crowd for the entire night.
These two got the crowd. We were talking about the crowd was a little iffy on all night. These Johnny Gargano and Adam Cole, they got them in the palm of their hand for sure. We go to another one. I'm going to read this short one and then the next one after. Someone says, The Wolf says, I just saw a Cowboy Wei Ting sign during the tag ladder match. How awesome. But let's go to Mystery. He says, very disappointing EO loss, but I'm fine with the post-match angle. Do you think the feud is over? And if not, do you think it'll result in a rematch being set for Toronto with maybe a hardcore stipulation set? It was very interesting that Triple H mentioned in the post-takeover Q&A that EO is likely dropping the sportsmanship-like aspect of her personality and going to start using violence to get what she wants. The title, according to her tweets.
Nice. Yeah, I think there's definitely a rematch next month.
Sure.
Don't think there's anyone else in the picture really right now.
No.
Jalen from Pickering. This was a nice show after not watching wrestling for a couple of months. I find it comical and at least for now nonsensical to have Mr. NXT, who took 2 years to get here, who gave you the best NXT storyline ever, who has probably half of the best takeover matches ever, losing his first title defense on an anniversary show. I'm also just not a fan of those Cole versus Gargano matches. They both felt inderific to me. I don't know what that means, but sure. The Dream could and should be a megastar and top guy in the industry in like 5 years. The dude has it all and needs to be in NXT until Vince is gone. I would love for him to be the equivalent to Nakamura in New Japan, be a top guy who elevates that secondary championship to be his.
The Dream is a lifer, a WWE lifer, I think. He's so WWE.
Well, like Jericho was.
Oh, he did the Lion Salt tonight. Wow. Dream to AEW confirmed. Dream to AEW confirmed. It's me, right?
Yeah.
We're going to Jamie from Royal Leamington Spa.
Yeah.
Where is that? It's a spa?
It's the name of the place. It's in the UK.
But he's at a spa.
No, it's called Royal Leamington Spa.
Okay, I really was excited. Not excited, but like someone's giving us feedback from a spa.
It's just naked, towel over their dick in a sauna.
Get a massage. He says, color me shocked at Cole winning. A pretty solid show, but I felt a steep below recent takeovers. Not that the show wasn't good, but nothing stood out as blow away amazing. In particular, felt the main event was excellent, but had too much Johnny kick out. And as much as I like Shayna, it feels like she has the same match every time. Ladder match was fantastic. Really glad for Street Profits and very eager to see where they go. Breeze and Dream also had a banger, and I'm hoping we see more from them.
We have BG from St. Albans. The wrestlers always find a way to do new spots in ladder matches, and some of the old ones never fail to pop me, like Montez springboarding on the ladder at the end, sheer magic. Glad to see Adam Cole pick up the win, but where does this leave Johnny? Please don't call him up and then fuck him with good shit. Book it. Oh, sorry, I've got to do the voice with good shit. Booking, Vince. Really enjoyed the show. Long live Shayna, bitches.
Yes, long live. every time I type Shayna Baszler in my notepad, like on computer notepad, it always goes.
Does it freak out and not have a clue what you're writing?
It goes Shania Blazer.
It's like my Oni Lorcan is always honey.
Yeah, it's always one, and it's like, what are you trying to spell?
No, it's Oni. I've typed this every week for the last year. Come on, recognize it.
Oni rules. I'm sorry, I forgot where I am. You already did BG. Let's go to Big PC. He says, amazing show. You both are great. Keep up the great work. Missed meeting you both in New York, maybe in Chicago or sometime in the future. Big PPC, Phil C. Oh,
Thank you
awesome,
very
man.
much.
Thank you. Hey, go review us on any podcasting app you're using, like iTunes and all that. Go give us a review and a rating and subscribe. Thank you. The next one here looks really long.
It's not too bad. It's just loads of paragraphs.
Go for it.
Brad the Dad from Halifax. Just wow. This show is so much better than the main roster stuff. It's almost unfit. First, we get Logic. The only non-title match went first in our evening. Yes, I said that to you. I like how they have the show in order of importance. It's like a New Japan show.
Yeah.
Like you start with the only non-title match and you build up. Second, it was a great fast one-on-one opener and then an amazing ladder match to follow for our tag titles, putting the titles on a new hot team. Tyler Breeze is criminally underutilized. Why is he not the guy getting a super shot at the showdown against Seth Rollins instead of boring Baron Corbin? Main event had great storytelling and the ending makes both guys look strong. Bring on the reign of Triple H as WWE Overlord. This is the better show. Yes, better than AEW. I said it. P.S. Watched the first 2 hours with my 11-year-old son, who is a huge Adam Cole fan, but he fell asleep in the main event. Can't wait for him to see it in the morning. 8.5 out of 10.
Awesome. British Wong style. Excellent show. Ladder match was brutal. Women's match, post-match angle had me hooked. Superb main event. And Johnny Wrestling is on another level. Don't let Vince get his hands on him. Andy West from London, UK.
That's quite short. You can do the next one as well.
Harry from Houston. Mixed feelings on the show. The opener was perfect and was everything you wanted out of one. The ladder match was awesome, but Street Profits as champions feels weak to me. I think Montez is great, but the team overall feels like a solid mid-card team, not the champions. Yeah, but they're going to change that. They're getting there. He says, Breeze and Dream did absolutely nothing for me. Boring match. He says, Io and Shayna was fine, but I would have Io rather go over. He says, Gargano and Cole was match of the night and almost as good as their New York match. I'm disappointed Gargano lost, even though I said he felt cold after winning the title. He says, Cole is over as fuck, and 7 out of 10 show. Solid takeover.
We have Kool-Aid Micah. First time, long time.
First time, long time. Yeah,
we haven't done that for a while.
It's been a while.
I always anticipate Up Next and enjoy all the awesome content you guys produce.
Wow.
Maybe, hopefully, you guys will come down here to Tampa for Mania next year to jam out to some good karaoke.
Ooh.
Maybe we'd like to.
Yeah.
NXT Bridgeport was magnificent. All matches to me had all my attention and I enjoyed them. I'm 50-50 on the crowning of our new undisputed overlord, but I know it'll be great. Question. When you think of the current NXT, what do you think of the current NXT championship scene? You obviously think of Adam Cole, Johnny Gargano, and Matt Riddle, possibly. That's a short list, in my opinion. There really isn't anyone else for the main event scene right now. So my actual question is, who should be built up to that status? I personally go with Keith Lee, Jackson Riker, Kushida. I
would love to see Keith Lee with a big push, but he kind of needs to work out some things in his character. He's gotten back. He's got to figure some things out. He's great. He's on the match next week.
I put Dream in that category of main eventers.
Dream. Yeah. Dream needs to lose the title. You know who's going to take it from him? Rather Strong.
Yeah. I think Dijak could be there.
He's got to come
in
back
a bit once he's healthy.
Yeah, NXT's in some good hands, I think. We're cool. And Cole's champion, baby. Chris for Carlisle, England. All these British places. I don't know where they are. Brilliant show as always, and I'm not wanting to repeat anything anyone else had to say. Although NXT Cardiff on the same day as New Japan Royal Quest at the Copper Box in London and All Out, I can't help but think they've done this on purpose. Wait, so those are all 3 shows on the same day?
Oh, damn.
That's crazy. All Out is on the same day as this NXT UK Cardiff and New Japan Royal Quest.
We have Gaurav from India. Another epic takeover. Roddy and Riddle was an intense opener. Tyler Breeze exceeded expectations. Io and the post-match beatdown got me hooked. Adam Cole versus Gargano II delivered big time. The ladder match was my match of the night. Kyle dying multiple times made me scream at 5 a.m. and ended up waking roommates up. It's going to be a fun day.
That's what I do, except I wake John Pollock's kid up, right? I just scream. Watching wrestling with me is fun. You gotta try it sometime. Carl Jr. I love your burgers. We don't have them here. Out of all 25 takeovers, there's been. Which one is your favorite takeover? My personal favorite is the Takeover Respect. Wow.
I think New Orleans takes some beating.
I'm gonna say the one. I mean, I loved Toronto when they came here, but I'm gonna say the New York one I went to definitely. I mean, I haven't been to as many as you have, but favorites are favorites. Go for
and
it.
Finally, we have our friend Charbel from Victoriaville. Best takeover ever, for real this time. Every match was incredible. Best Riddle match, best ladder match I ever seen. Blew the North American ladder match out of the water.
Whoa, strong
best Shayna match I have ever seen in her. I hate her so much. When she won, I was so fucking mad. I hate everything about her. She is the most heel female wrestler I know. She is just a pure heel. Perfect. I love her.
Wow.
Best match I ever seen in my fucking life. Cole versus Gargano II. I don't know what to say. Just wow. My favorite match of all time.
Wow.
When I saw the logo of Gargano Cole 2, Toronto will be the third. I'm coming for the tailgate.
Whoa.
What perfect feedback to end up.
Charbel, the sushi master.
The sushi master.
Next week, Charbel, because I know you give us feedback every week. You try to. You're the sushi master in Montreal or Victoriaville.
Yeah.
What do you think of the sushi garoshi? You have to create the sushi garoshi.
Yeah, absolutely.
I know he created the sushita. So he's got to come up with the sushi garoshi for me. The proper, something crazy. I love salmon, so you got to do that shit. So, I'm going to make a move called the sashimi. It would be different than the thing. That's all the feedback. That's a lot of feedback.
That is.
I know we're on YouTube still, and we have people here that are still listening to us.
Charbel wants a Bray and Davie cutout.
Yeah, people really love the Kairi Sane cutout. My computer's going to die. So we should probably wrap this up. I don't know.
Yeah, we should wrap this up.
Thank you, everybody.
You need to get to work.
I do. I have to do an overnight shift, and I got to leave. So that's kind of why. But I can still see all the chat here. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for showing up and sticking out. We're definitely going to be doing this again, probably after the next takeover. Oh, the next takeover.
Plug it in.
We're here.
We're going to.
We're going to have the takeover tailgate.
Yeah,
it'll be lit. So look out for that. Look out for any of our podcasts again on any app that you use for podcasting, Stitcher, Google Play, Spotify, ProWrestlingTees.com/upNXT. And look out next week for our Hangover show. You can find us, subscribe to us if you're listening to this and you want to listen to more reviews of NXT. We review NXT every week. Every Wednesday night. We put the show out Thursdays. So go check that out. And I don't know what else to say. Thank you for all the listeners, old and new. I've been doing reviewing all the takeovers for like 5 years now. So it's been a lot of fun. So I thank all the listeners who still stick by me and follow me. So you can follow me on my socials, because if you don't, you're missing out. We're kind of idiots on the internet sometimes. I know I am. You can follow me at the Brady on Twitter and Instagram.
And I am at Davie Portman.
So with that being said, have yourselves a good night and take care. Goodbye. Be safe.
Ahoy!
Of course. Yes. Thank you guys so much. Have a good night, guys.
See you guys.
Cheers.
Thank you.
It's lit. It's lit.